When you take your very first bite of a warm, toasted crumpet, the process of digestion begins instantly. The soft, airy texture mixes with saliva inside your mouth. Salivary glands release an enzyme called amylase, which immediately starts breaking down starches into simpler sugars. Even before you swallow, your body has already started converting carbohydrates into usable fuel. As you swallow, the crumpet travels down the esophagus through smooth, wave-like muscular contractions known as peristalsis. Within seconds, it reaches the stomach. Here, powerful gastric acids and digestive enzymes begin to break it down further. Because crumpets are primarily made from refined flour, they digest relatively quickly. If butter is added, fats begin separating into droplets, preparing for further digestion in the small intestine. Next, the partially digested mixture, now called chyme, moves into the small intestine. This is where most nutrient absorption happens. Enzymes from the pancreas continue breaking down carbohydrates into glucose molecules. These tiny glucose particles pass through the intestinal lining and enter the bloodstream. As glucose levels rise in the blood, the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin acts like a key, allowing glucose to enter cells throughout the body. Your brain is one of the first organs to benefit. It relies heavily on glucose for energy, so you may feel a quick boost in alertness and mental clarity. Your muscles also absorb glucose, either using it immediately for energy or storing it as glycogen for later use. Inside your cells, mitochondria begin converting glucose into ATP, the body's energy currency. For a short time, your entire system feels energized and fueled. However, because crumpets are made from refined carbohydrates, this energy surge can happen quickly and fade just as fast. A rapid rise in blood sugar often leads to a noticeable spike in insulin. When insulin works to lower blood glucose levels, they can sometimes drop rapidly afterward. This may leave you feeling tired, sluggish, or craving more carbohydrates within 1 to 2 hours. If crumpets are eaten occasionally and balanced with protein or fiber, the body manages this process efficiently. But frequent consumption of refined carbs, especially when paired with butter or high-fat spreads, can have long-term effects. Excess glucose that is not used for energy gets stored first as glycogen, and if those stores are full, it can be converted into body fat. Over time, repeated blood sugar spikes may place stress on the pancreas. In some individuals, this pattern can contribute to insulin resistance. If high amounts of saturated fat are regularly added, cholesterol levels may gradually increase, potentially affecting cardiovascular health. The key is balance. Crumpets provide quick, easily digestible energy. They can be useful before physical activity or when paired with protein-rich foods to slow absorption. But relying on them as a primary food source may lead to fluctuating energy levels and metabolic strain. Inside your body, every bite sets off a complex chain reaction: digestion, absorption, distribution, and regulation. What feels simple on the plate becomes a coordinated biological performance within. Understanding this process allows you to make more informed choices about how you fuel your body. Your body responds to every bite. The question is, are you choosing balance?